Good morning. I want to thank all of you for being here today on this important announcement about rail crossing safety in the state of Oklahoma and the governor's initiative to improve that safety across the state. This is a very important program for the state to undertake as we move forward to be more proactive in our safety program at the Department of Transportation.
Oklahoma's always been a trendsetter in railroad policy, and what's being announced here today is really no different. It provides yet another example of that innovation that the state always exemplifies. In the 1970s, Oklahoma took steps to ensure that the state's railroad corridors were secured for the future. And that foresight not only protected the economic interests of the state, but it created the funds to implement this unprecedented state-led rail safety program. Oklahoma is a railroad state. You have 19 freight railroads. You're 16th in the country for railroad track miles. More than 300 million tons of freight originate, terminate, or pass through Oklahoma every single year. And those numbers are growing. The railroad industry invests tens of millions of dollars in Oklahoma every year to serve customers, to support economic development, and to enhance safety. But today, we're here to talk about the investment that the state of Oklahoma is making in railroads and public safety. Some 1,800 current railroaders and 5,000 retirees live here in the state of Oklahoma. And I can promise you that I speak for every one of them when I say thank you for the commitment that Oklahoma is showing to the safety of your residents and the railroaders who live and work in the state. Incidents at grade crossings have a profound effect on all of those involved, including the train crew. Several years ago, I had an experience that is frankly a daily occurrence for most railroad engineers and conductors. From the cab of a locomotive, I watched a mother with her kids in the car race alongside the train, trying to get to a grade crossing before we did. Up until the very last second, it was not clear whether she was going to stop that car with her kids or she was going to make the worst decision of her life. Fortunately, she made the right choice. But to this very day, I remember seeing her face and thinking that she and her kids might not walk away. Since 1980, collisions at railroad crossings have declined 80%. And the kind of innovative program that's being introduced here today will help all of us make sure that we keep driving that rate towards zero. Thank you.
And when you come up to a highway intersection, there are two people that can control the situation as far as preventing an accident. At a rail highway intersection, there is only one, and that relies totally on the driver of the vehicle. And the driver of the vehicle is totally dependent upon the warning devices that are in advance of the crossing that will tell them that they have an impending danger.
I want to thank everyone who's here and to express my appreciation for the plan that has been worked on over the last many months to develop a comprehensive railroad safety plan for the state of Oklahoma that will provide $100 million in improvement to our rail crossings across the state. This will be the first ever large-scale safety programs for our railroads in our state. This initiative will fast-track hundreds of projects to improve over 300 rail crossings statewide. The safety feature warnings will include upgrades to increasing high-visibility signage, crossbucks, gates, hazard lighting, and pavement markings. Many of these crossings have only rail crossing signs that sometimes can be faint or either faint pavement markings. There are some that have no flashing lights, no arms to serve as warnings for motorists who are traveling alongside oncoming trains. So these improvements will be funded through a combination of proceeds from the recent sale of the Sooner Sub rail line for $75 million, in addition to dedicated safety funds from the Department of Transportation and other parties itself. This is a great announcement for the state, and we're very pleased to do this today.